What's up, family? Welcome back to the channel. And as always, thanks for tuning in. This video will get released on Sunday, so I thought I would jump into a little Sunday talk, maybe just a little unveiling of my mind about Christianity. And let me say out the gate that I will consider myself a Christian in meaning that I believe in Christ and the Gospels and what it represents. So I'm not a diehard Bible thumper or anything. I grew up in church, but I've learned a lot enough over the years, 40 plus years that or right at 40 that I attended 2 to 3 services a week to learn that religion is not where it's at. But with that out the way, I want to throw something at whoever's watching this, subscribers or first time comers. Maybe somebody has an answer to something that has always puzzled me, but no one ever really had any more information to give me. If you understand, for those who have gone to church at all, if you understand fundamental Christianity and understanding the Bible at all, there's one thing in particular that has always puzzled me. And Christianity, for the most part, will teach what I'm about to say, but they don't necessarily have any evidence or background or information on it. It's just something that seems like it's the right thing to do or to be, or the way that it went down, without God actually saying that. Let me tell you what I mean. If you ask most Christians who go to church every Sunday, why did God create man? I'm not talking about just Adam or Eve, but mankind. If you ask them why did he do it, the majority of them, and you want them to go into it, the majority of them will say because the angels did, and I'm paraphrasing it, but the angels always did as they were told. So pretty much like they were like robots. He just commanded them to do something and they did exactly what he said. So, and again, I'm paraphrasing. In essence, then God got bored or tired of just having angels being surrounded by beings that did whatever he told them to do. And so he created humanity, supposedly, again, because it's not necessarily in the book, we just have to kind of say that, giving us free will to choose him so that the ones who truly worshiped him and believed in him had the choice to see how powerful and how great he was without the influence of him making them kind of like how the angels would be set up. Because according to how most Christians would see it, the angels are set up, created, and they have an assignment, one thing to do. You got so many that worship him all day long. You got so many that go to war for him, all these different things. If you go to church a couple of times, you understand this. My thought process is none of that is really in the scriptures, right? None of that is in the good book. But that is the common belief of most Christians, that he, in essence, got bored with being surrounded by y'all just do what I tell you to do. He creates humanity in order to see, would somebody with free will actually see how great I am. That's the essence of why most people would say he created humans. So start with that. So he creates humans, if going along what we said now, he creates humans to give them free will. So now we have the power of choice, decision making. He puts them in a garden and tells them, Adam and Eve at this point, don't partake of the tree that's in the midst of the garden. Again, they have free will, supposedly according to how we see it. However, if they were to partake of the tree, there would be consequences. Now, it seemed like they were doing well and being obedient to what he instructed them to do. Take care of the garden, and the tree that's in the middle of the garden, leave it alone. They were doing good. This is the part that throw me off. This is the part that I don't understand. Remember now, we're talking about God. Infinite understanding, infinite wisdom, knows all things at all times. That's God. That's what makes him God. And when they were doing good, it seemed like at that point, remember now, Lucifer gets kicked out. He comes down, I guess, to the earth. That's what we're going to say. He appears in the form of a serpent and then begins to mess with Eve to convince her to partake of something that God told them not to do. So he creates humanity to give us free will, free choice. But then when humanity was doing good and following his instructions, it seemed like that wasn't good enough. I'm just following a train of thought here. Y'all help me out. It seemed like that wasn't good enough, so then he allows the serpent to trick Eve, who also brought Adam in on her nonsense. Then they get kicked out. Not only do they get kicked out, but because they messed up and sinned, now every human being after them is born with sin in their life. Now, here's the thing with Christianity, though. Here's what we believe. Here's what the majority of Christians believe. Now, with all that going on, anybody who lives and dies and don't accept Christ, according to a lot of Christian people, main Christianity in the United States, when they die, they will go you nowhere. If you have not accepted Christ and really allow him to be the Lord of your life, head of your life, your decision maker, your consultant, your guide, your everything, if you have not allowed that process to take place in your life according to what the majority of Christian believers believe, when you die, you on judgment day, unless God gives you an extreme amount of mercy, they believe that you will go to downstairs. And they believe that you will stay downstairs burning in fire for eternity. I don't understand. That has always baffled me. Start over. God is bored in heaven with angels doing what he told him to do. He creates man, gives them free will. In their free will, they made the right decision. So he created or allowed a trickster to trick them and cause their will to be moved to do something that God told them not to do. God kicked them out, and then from that point on, caused every human being after that who did not believe or look to him to one day wake up and spend an eternity in hell. Somebody who understands those things, please put down in the comment, what am I missing here? What am I missing? I feel like we're missing something here. Because he who knew all things knew that when he kicked Lucifer out, Lucifer would trick Eve. He who knew all things knew when he could have sent Lucifer anywhere. I guess that's what I'm, he could have sent him anywhere. He created Adam and Eve. He wants them to have free will, but it seemed like he rigged the game to where they was not going to win no matter what. They was winning. And God knows I'm not talking against God. I'm not trying to do nothing like that. I'm just giving my point of view from having grown up and been around the church over 40 years of my life. They were winning. They were doing what he told them to do. They were leaving the tree alone. If it's just based off of their power of choice and their decision making, they should have been fine. But he allowed a trickster to come and work on them until they changed their mind. And then held everybody after that responsible for a decision that they made. But we have free will. I don't understand that. How can you have free will when if you don't choose accurately on something that did not even involve you from the beginning, you're going to suffer a high consequence, probably worse than the one who started this nonsense, Adam and Eve. Somebody explain that to me. Again, I'm not coming on here to be anti-Christ or anti-Bible. I'm hoping that somebody out there can explain how we can have free will and then yet be responsible for something that we were not responsible for. And if we don't choose correctly, the punishment is very severe according to the Christian faith. If anybody can help me, put in the comments. You got it? Good.